Hey, how's it going? Sometimes things don't go as planned. Here's the deal. I plan to post another video this week, but like the truck I bought with the junk engine, it didn't work out. Well, I'm still going to finish up and post it later. It's just going to take a little bit longer than I planned. So I need to improvise and start doing this video. And it's going to be short and sweet and just kind of an update of what I'm doing. Since it's summer now, I'm moving on to plan B. I want to get something done, and drivable, and have some fun. The quickest option for that is the red Corvette. You see my earlier videos, you know I have a 77 red Corvette that basically has the top end of the engine off. I already bought new cylinder heads for the car, but I'm not going to use them. I think to speed things up a little bit, I'm going to use the Vortec heads I just took off that engine. I'm still going to give them a quick bowl job, but nothing too fancy. I'll use the intake I got as well, drop that on, get it running, have some fun, and then I'll get back to working on the Trans Am. Before I start modifying these heads, I need to tear them down and clean them up. Words can hardly describe how nasty these things are. I mean, just look at this. I mean, there's that big chunk of build-up gunk right there on the inside wall. Man, I have never seen the amount of garbage and runners as these have. I mean, it's just crazy. Then in the chambers even, look at all this carbon. When I removed the heads from the engine, big old chunks fell off into the cylinder bores. Look at that. It's crazy. So, this is my manual LSM valve spring compressor. They have power ones, air powered, whatever, hydraulic, and they're not too much more than this. But the thing I like about this is if I feel like tearing apart cylinder heads in my bedroom in the middle of the night without bugging anyone, I can do that. So give me a second, I'll set up the tripod and I'll give you a demonstration of how this thing works. Here's a few things I want to mention before I demonstrate the valve spring compressor. First, it's always a good idea to loosen up the valve locks by putting a socket on it that just fits on the retainer and then giving it a smack with the dead blow. Next, I like to label my valves by the cylinder number. Sometimes you need a black Sharpie, sometimes you need a silver Sharpie, or both in this case. And last, there's no point in labeling the valves if you don't know which heads they came off of. So I like to stamp them. I will stamp them on the ends so that later I can tell which ones they were. Here we go. I'm glad I changed my shirt because this is going to be messy. Okay. This is the LSM valve spring compressor, and this end's obviously for the valve spring, and this is for the valve. Let's open this sucker up. Oh, one quick note on the end you're going to use to compress the valve. I like to put a couple drops of just, whatever oil I got laying around on the threads, just so it doesn't wear my tool out. Because the threads may be steel, but this is aluminum. Okay, let's see, is that going to work? Right there. And just like that. It's good to have a magnet handy. Get those locks out. And those things are. I'm not reusing those. And the nasty spring and retainer. Springs, of course, are going in the scrap pile, and the retainers I'll probably save just because. Now, they don't look like they're bad or nothing. And I'll go ahead and do one more. Let's do it from the other side this time. Have to open her up a little bit more. Close, line her up, she looks good. Get the locks off. Decompressor. Just like that. A little easier when the head's facing the other way, but I want to show it on camera. If I flip it upside down, I'll have to reposition the camera, and I'm getting all nasty right now. So let me get these suckers tore down. I get the valves out. I might have to deburr them. We'll see. No, I don't feel any burrs. They don't look too bad of shape. They definitely need to be cleaned up. And sometimes when you use your stuff in performance, you might float the valves and you get a little burr on the edge there, and you'll have to file that off. But this thing wasn't revved too high, so good news. Now back to work. I finished tearing the heads down. Now, if the valves were better like aftermarket, I would take them and put them in a tote like this with a box, keep them organized and safe, and put the retainers and locks in bags and keep them over here on the side. But these are just stock valves, and actually the exhaust valves are probably in need of a refacing. I don't think lapping will be enough. What we know from the leak down tests, I mean, you can see the intakes aren't too bad, but the exhaust are just, I don't know. Now, I do remember I have some heads that are off of the 77 Corvette originally, like some 882 heads. And those had low miles, about 40 or so thousand. So I might get those out, tear them apart, and see if I can use the valves out of those. I mean, the exhaust valves at least. They should be the same size. Over here I got the heads soaking because they're so nasty. I was just going to scrub them off, but I think I'm going to let them soak for a few days. I got other stuff I got to prep anyway, so, why not? I'll get them out tomorrow and scrub them a little bit and put them back in, lay them back down. But They're just too nasty. It'll get junk all over my porting table and all over me. So, that's all I got for now. I guess this video turned out a little bit longer than I expected. Thanks for watching. Keep it real. Wow, that's just thick.